Hello guys, welcome back to the Bridgerton Season 3, Part 1, Episode 2, How Bright the Moon recap. So let's get into it. Luke is definitely acting, who plays Colin, is definitely acting, and you can tell, and it really puts me off. And then Penelope's very nosy for reading Colin's diary, and I just want to mention, Penelope clearly has a lot of trauma around being a wallflower, her mother never really treating her like she was a treasure. I get it. The girl has trauma. It affects the way she goes about life. It affects the fact that she's Lady Whistledown. I feel really sorry for her. I get it, girl. But damn, Penelope, man, you need therapy. Penelope needs therapy. Let me say that. Okay. Some scenes were also really dark in this episode, the lighting was off, and usually that doesn't really bother me, but I feel like in previous seasons it was pretty bright, but they have a lot of scenes where there's not really a lot of light in the scene, or maybe they're using too much natural light with candles and things like that, or lamps. I like that Dynamite by BTS was played in this episode when they were dancing. That was really cool. Also, there are way too many side stories apart from Pauline. In episode 2, you get a little bit of Anthony and Kate, and obviously then Francesca, I call her Mama Bridgerton, Violet Bridgerton, her little side story, Lady Danbury. There's a lot going on aside from the actual couple, and it's odd because at first I thought they would be prioritizing Pauline, but it doesn't really seem like they are. Also, funny aside, one of the Featherington girls is married and does not know what sex is and has to be taught by their mother. And I'm just like, how did you get this far into marriage without knowing? But anyway, I guess it just adds a little bit of humor, doesn't it? So it's all good. And then the Featherington sisters finally put things to practice, and they sleep with their husbands, and everything's all good because their mother wants them to have babies, because if they don't have sons, then they're going to lose the estate and they're pretty much going to be homeless. Who's really going to take them in? Nobody likes the Featheringtons. Let's be real. Also, Penelope asks Colin to kiss her, which is just further proof that she's been in love with him for a really long time, and as I said previously, her trauma stops her from fully confessing to Colin ages ago, from actually being hey, I like you. Granted, in season 1, even if she had told Colin that she liked him, he fully probably wouldn't have accepted that because he was in love with somebody else, so fair game in it and everything. I kind of understand where Penelope's awkwardness comes from. It would not really be easy to confess to Colin. I get it, but a lot of her social awkwardness is also because of the way her mother treats her, which means that she can never really be herself in front of other people because she was constantly being judged. So it just goes back to trauma, a trauma response. Her entire behavior and the way that she acts and carries herself, thus far, has been a trauma response, even when she's close to people. It's why she never told Eloise that she was Lady Whistledown, and it's why, Colin never knew, her two closest friends. And it's really quite unfortunate. While I understand her awkwardness, I do wish she could be honest, and even if things didn't go the way she want to, kind of just accept it instead of getting angry and then writing things down and ranting about people and making people feel bad, or even getting involved in people's lives when they haven't asked you to, which is what she did with Colin and Eloise. Oh, I love you so much that I'm going to help you where I think you can't help yourself. And it's even though she was trying to be helpful, she had no right to do those things. But I feel sympathy for Penelope, so I kind of excuse it as a viewer. But if I was Colin or Eloise, I'd be just as pissed with her. I might behave a bit differently to Colin and Eloise, but I would still be angry with Penelope. Anyway, moving on.